Sometimes the most dangerous battles aren't fought in the spotlight or on the playing field. They are fought in the silence behind closed doors, where love turns into control and where the screams of pain are muffled by fear. It's in these shadows that lives are shattered and silence becomes as deadly as any weapon. Today, we dive into the tragic and heart-wrenching case of Rebecca Cheptegei. A woman who once stood as a beacon of strength and inspiration, Rebecca's life was violently cut short by a man who was supposed to love her. Her story isn't just one of athletic achievement, but of the hidden horrors behind a relationship that turned deadly. This is a story of love, betrayal, and an unimaginable act of violence that shocked the world. Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind this devastating tragedy. Rebecca Cheptegei wasn't just an Ugandan Olympic athlete. She was an inspiration to millions. Her performances on the world's most prestigious athletic stages captured the hearts of fans worldwide. She was a symbol of resilience, representing her country on the world's most prestigious athletic stages. Her achievements were inspiring, each victory a testament to her hard work and determination. Yet, beneath the spotlight and the adulation, Rebecca was hiding a painful secret, one that no one saw coming. The very strength that made her a champion could not protect her from the toxic forces lurking in her personal life, a force that would ultimately shatter her world and lead to a heartbreaking end. Rebecca's love story began like a dream, a whirlwind romance filled with laughter, warmth, and promises of forever. He was charming, attentive, and seemed to adore her, making Rebecca feel cherished and special. But as the months passed, the man she had fallen for began to show a different side. His love turned possessive, his admiration turned into suffocating control. What once felt like a safe haven now felt like a prison. Rebecca Cheptegei and Dickson Ndiema Marangach's relationship began like a spark of hope in what seemed to be a promising chapter in her life. Around 2020 or 2021, they crossed paths when Rebecca was living in Uganda. Dickson, an aspiring athlete himself, painted a picture of a future where they could thrive together, both personally and professionally. He encouraged her to move to Kenya, to Iton, a hub renowned for nurturing elite distance runners. It was a place that promised opportunity, a setting where dreams were forged in sweat and determination. With optimism, Rebecca took the leap. In 2021, she relocated to Kinyoro, Kenya, a small, quiet town just a couple of hours from I-10. But Rebecca's kindness and generosity extended far beyond herself. She became the backbone of their shared dream, financially supporting Dickson through his struggles. She covered his training expenses, his rent, and even invested in his potential. For a man who once struggled to make ends meet as a motorcycle taxi driver, Rebecca's success and unwavering support were life-changing. Yet, behind this seemingly supportive partnership lurked shadows of control and imbalance. While Rebecca gave her all to uplift Dickson, cracks began to form in their relationship. The foundation, built on mutual dreams, slowly crumbled under the weight of unspoken expectations and emotional strain. What began as an inspiring love story was soon tainted by the darker side of human nature, a story of love turned toxic. His jealousy grew, along with his anger, and the relationship that had once been a bright light in her life became a dark cloud of fear and isolation. Behind her public persona as a fearless athlete, Rebecca was quietly suffering, unable to escape the emotional torment that had slowly consumed her. The world saw her as the strong, unbreakable champion, but the truth was far more painful. Rebecca, the woman who had conquered the world, was trapped in a relationship she could no longer bear. Rebecca, like many others in toxic relationships, hoped that things would eventually improve. She clung to the hope that Marangach would change, that the love they once shared could outweigh the bitterness that had seeped into their relationship. When Rebecca finally made the brave decision to part ways with Marangach, it wasn't a simple goodbye. The pain lingered like a shadow, making it hard to completely sever the emotional connection. On September 1st, 2024, after a heated and violent argument about a property she had purchased, Rebecca Cheptegei's ex-boyfriend, Dickson Ndiema Marangach, reached a terrifying breaking point. What began as a disagreement spiraled into an unimaginable act of cruelty. Fueled by jealousy, resentment, and a twisted sense of control, Dickson resorted to a horrific act that would not only shatter Rebecca's life, but leave a scar on the community and all who admired her. Rebecca Cheptegei was starting her morning in the tranquil highlands of Western Kenya, preparing to attend church. Marangach made an unusual and seemingly innocuous request. He contacted a friend asking to borrow a lighter. When asked why he needed the lighter, Marangach responded vaguely, stating he had an emergency. His cryptic reply only raised suspicion, and when pressed further for an explanation, he became evasive. He became very secretive. Ultimately, the friend declined Marangach's request, unaware of the dark intentions concealed behind the simple plea. Hours later, he doused Rebecca in petrol and set her on fire in her own home in Endebess, Trans Nzoia County, Kenya. The flames consumed more than just her body. They extinguished the bright light of a woman who had dedicated her life to inspiring others through her athletic triumphs and indomitable spirit. Rebecca, who had stood tall as a symbol of hope and resilience on the global stage, now faced a tragic fate that would send shockwaves across the world. The attack left Rebecca with burns covering 80% of her body, and she was rushed to the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret. Her critical condition marked the beginning of a devastating battle for her life, one that ultimately ended in heartbreak. Rebecca succumbed to her injuries on September 5, 2024, leaving behind a legacy tarnished by the senseless violence of a man she once trusted. The attack left Marangach with burn injuries as well, as the flames he unleashed engulfed both of them. Marangach was also hospitalized in the same facility, where he remained under police watch. Authorities had planned to formally charge him with Rebecca's murder, but before justice could take its course, Marangach succumbed to his injuries on September 9, 2024. The news of Rebecca Cheptegei's tragic death spread like wildfire, igniting waves of shock and sorrow across the globe. It wasn't just the horrific nature of the act that left people reeling. It was the heartbreaking realization that someone with so much promise, a beacon of hope for her nation, could be taken in such a brutal, senseless manner. Her death became a wake-up call, forcing society to confront the often overlooked scourge of domestic violence. Outrage poured in from all corners of the world as people demanded stronger protections for victims of abuse. How could someone so accomplished, someone so loved, have endured such silent suffering? How many others were trapped in the shadows, too afraid to speak out or seek help? Rebecca's death, though profoundly tragic, became a catalyst for change. Her story opened the door to difficult conversations, compelling governments, advocacy groups, and individuals to confront the uncomfortable truths about intimate partner violence. Her legacy now transcends her athletic achievements. It stands as a powerful reminder that silence can no longer be an option in the face of abuse. Through the tears and outrage, Rebecca's story carries the hope of change, urging society to fight for a future where such tragedies no longer occur. Rebecca Cheptegei's story is not just a story of death. It's a reminder of the lives lost to domestic violence every day. But even in the face of such a horrific act, there is hope. Through the pain of her loss, there has been a surge in support for victims of abuse and a commitment to preventing this kind of tragedy from happening again. Rebecca's legacy is not just the gold medals she earned. It's the message that we must stand up, speak out, and support those who need it most. Domestic violence can happen to anyone. If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, don't wait for things to get worse. Reach out for help. There is always support available. Share this video to raise awareness and join the movement to end violence in relationships. Remember, Rebecca's death was tragic, but her story will not be forgotten. It will be a beacon of hope for many others still suffering in silence. If you want to explore more intriguing narratives, mysteries, and tales of human resilience, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon to stay updated every time we post new content. Your support keeps us motivated to bring you the stories that matter. Love the content we create? Help us keep this channel alive and thriving by making a donation.